Well, I'm currently learning Mandarin Chinese, and I obviously speak English. I'm keen on learning Arabic and Persian. I'm planning on learning Korean in my fourth year as well, as a subsidiary language. Well, Chinese was one of the languages offered at my secondary school, and I decided to learn it because it's quite different to English, and I like challenges as well. I began to become interested in the language because it's quite like art, and I'm still studying it now. Well, Chinese characters are quite complex, so if you were to analyse them structurally, they're comprised of radical components. And essentially, if you were to look at the etymology of the language, they tell stories, and that's quite interesting. I think the major difference would be that at university it's quite an analytical approach. They care quite a lot about the grammar, whereas previously I think if you were to memorize characters without understanding their function, that would have been okay for the exam, but at the moment it's not really the case. So at the moment we're quite emphasizing the language more. We learn modern Chinese as well as classical Chinese, which isn't taught at many places. And even though they use some of the same symbols, they do mean quite different things in terms of meaning. So that's always interesting to analyze. I think that Chinese is a really important language to be able to speak. In the future, I can't really expect what will happen, but I think it will definitely open some doors and bring a lot of opportunities. Personally, I've tried to bring some of the opportunities to myself, so making contacts with Chinese people, talking to Chinese friends every day, and I've also created a blog about Chinese, which helps me further my study. Through various mediums, writing letters and speaking daily basis, and my blog is more about teaching foreigners about Chinese and Chinese culture. I guess Chinese, when you learn the language, you also learn a bit more about how Chinese people think. It makes you learn about Chinese culture as well, so it makes you open to different cultures and welcome different types of people into your life. So we learn about modern and classical Chinese. Classical Chinese is more character-based rather than sentence-based, so the way that it's structured is quite different to modern. Even though some of the symbols may look the same, they mean something completely different in classical, which can be a bit difficult to get your head around at first, but it's very interesting. I think Chinglish is just a colloquial term for informal English mixed with Chinese. In a few ways, I think it's definitely good to learn more than one language. It's good for keeping your memory going well and strong, but it also helps you build relationships with different people across the world.